So let me tell you, I've done a lot of scary things in my life. A lot. This has got to be one of the most scariest thing I've done. We drove because I-81 in Wyoming was closed, so it made us turn around in a loop. We were staying on I-81 for about almost 3 days. We were sleeping back there. It was miserable because when I designed the car, I designed it for Florida, not anticipating the cold, the wind, and it was a mess. You had snow going inside the cabin. We have our unit freezing over. Our water pump, the whole water system is frozen. So now I have to redesign everything over. We had it working. We blew one water heater. So luckily I had another water heater just in case. I said, you know what, just bring it just in case. I don't know what made me brought it. So I brought it, and the other one unit blew. So the new one helped us a lot. But the line was frozen. We haven't had a shower. We couldn't put water in there. It's so awful. But so we're in the mountains, climbing up the mountains. All of a sudden I hear a boom. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna die. It's windy. It's snowing. I said, I'm gonna die today. So and then there was another person in front of us. I was going, all of a sudden he stopped the car, a U-Haul. And then he's like, let me guess, you're afraid? He goes, yeah, I'm really afraid. Really, really afraid. So I was like, you know what? I'm afraid too. I'm having a problem with my car. Let's all both go together. And we made it through halfway here. And then all of a sudden, boom, the car's done. Wheel bearing shot. The gentleman, his name was Pete, was so nice enough. I asked him, I said, please, can you do me one favor? He says, can you let me borrow your jack? And this is the jack. I am so happy because I brought everything in except a jack. So when I got the jack, we're doing the wheel bearing now. And guess what? You can't even go get a wheel bearing in this town because the I-81 is closed. So now a friend of mine, Bill, is bringing us part. The poor guy, he has a cold. He's driving 6 hours just to drop off the wheel bearing. So this is where we're at. We're at the Carbon Visiting Information Center. We're there now. And we've been stuck here since this morning. But let me tell you a lesson. If you decide to come west, get your truck prepared, especially you're from Florida. We had the radiator freezed up. Talk about panic. I panicked. I woke up this morning, the car was just overheated. I'm like, oh no, the freeze. So I keep turning on, shutting off, turning on, shutting off. So within like an hour, 2 hours, it finally unseats itself. We drained the fluid, put new Freon in there. No, not Freon, antifreeze. And everything's good now. But I had such, you could say, an awful trip. This is it. This is the most awful trip I had. So we're done for now until Bill, my friend, gets here. And my God, this guy's an angel, man. He drove all the way 6 hours to just help us out. But other than that, this is our nightmare in a nutshell. Oh, this is popping up too. Oh, look at this. Oh no, this is popping up. Salt's gonna get in there. The car's falling apart, guys. Oh shoot.
Don't open it.
I gotta close it.
Yeah.
The car is literally falling apart because it's not used to the weather, the cold weather. Poor thing. And the bearings are shot. The antifreeze, lucky didn't blew the radiator, or we'd be in deep. But well, I got the bearing out. I had to drill it to get the bearing out because the C's on there. And when the C's, it snapped the washer and locked everything up. So now the spindle is stripped. I'm just gonna put a cotter pin, get it home. I'll get it to Utah, and then I'll get grab a used one from a junkyard or something and replace it. Because they're expensive. These spindles are real expensive. And we're on a tight budget. This trip really killed us. I mean, we spent so much money. Gases. Now I-81 closer, I had to turn around, do all kind of, whatever they call it, do all kind of mapping. And we end up here. I had to drill out the bearing. That's the actual bearing. So I'm so lucky I had to drill. So I put a drill bit there. Then I put a taper bit, as you can see, just careful not touching the spindle, and I cracked it. So that what saved me is the drill. That drill right there saved my butt. So there's no way of cutting this bearing out. It's seized in there. So, and not only that, when it's seized in there, see it kinked right here. It kinked right here. So when it locked in there, it locks this clip here. It landed on the thing. It caused it to go like this. So I couldn't get the bolt out. I had to strip the bolt. Hopefully now we can put it back in, put the car to pin it and drive it and make it home until we get another part. But this is part of it. It's all stripped up. But enough of the size note, the sad story. Once we get this bearing back in there, hopefully there's a lot more adventure to come instead of this. But I tell you, if you're coming from Florida, make sure you change your antifreeze. It doesn't matter if it's new or used, just change it. It's not worth it. It froze on us. And I'm pretty good with cars, and it just went right over my head. So, on that same note, we'll let you know when it's done, once the part gets here.